Let's dive back into the horrors. Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Crow Country. I've wanted to do this since I first played this game last year. This is one of my favorite games from last year. And I'm very excited to play this. Something I should note though, I'm playing off the copy of the game that I've already beaten, so I actually have access to a couple of things most people won't on their first playthrough, but I'm only using one of them. Namely, if you go into the game settings, there's something known as Crow Quest. Crow Quest adds some things to the map for us to interact with. That's another little side quest that you don't really need to worry about, but I'm going to showcase anyway. For right now, let's actually get into the new game. I'm going to be playing on the main difficulty, Survival Horror, as Exploration Mode has effectively no enemies. Meanwhile, Murder of Crows is a little too aggressive for what I want to do. Survival Horror is the main difficulty for a reason. So let's not mess around and let's dive into the horrors, shall we? If anyone asks, my name is Mara. Mara Forrest. Special Agent Forrest. That's me. Don't forget. Don't mess it up. And we're thrown into the action. You can not only move in this game with the D-pad in the usual tank control fashion or use the analog stick, and I actually do prefer the analog stick in this case. It's my police file. Missing persons report. Atlanta Police Department, 215 Lakewood Way, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30315. Name, Edward Crow, 57, male. Occupation, company owner/landowner. Health condition, unknown. Last seen by Mr. Tolman, 42, male. Last known whereabouts, Crow Country Estate. Reported by Natalie Crow, 27, female. Relation to missing, daughter. Reported to Officer Detective Harrison James, 05061. So I guess we're looking for Mr. Crow himself then. Before we go into our next main objective though, there's a healing item right here. Just grab this med kit, you might as well. It's chained up. That padlock looks a little rusty. It would probably break with enough force. I better go open the trunk of my car. Now, before I do that, I have these two items here, the crowbar and the crow launcher. I showcase these later on, but I'm not using them during the main LP because I unlocked those for getting up to an A rank on my first playthrough. There's blood on the ground. What happened here? Huh. Now, this little guy here is very important, but I'll talk about him in a moment. For right now, let's go check what's in the trunk of our car. There's something important stored in here. It's my box of handgun ammo. I should stock up. So notably, you can check your inventory in this game, but you can't reload from it like you can in Resi. So you do need to actually press the circle button in my case, which is what I have mapped to reload. Every single time you grab ammo, you grab the same amount of it. You get 8 per handgun case, effectively. This game aims quite a bit like Resident Evil, but more like Resident Evil 4 than anything prior. Where you're using the D-pad or the analog stick to just move your reticle around the screen. The camera does automatically adjust behind you by default, but you can turn that option off. And right there, we just got our flashlight. You can turn that on and off by toggling a certain button. Megabyte Magazine Tips and Tricks. You can hold down circle or R2 to run. The advantage using R2 is that it frees you up to use the right stick to rotate the camera. You can rotate the camera with the right stick. Also, the camera will face forward when you press R1 to use your weapon. I have slightly customized the controls, so that's probably not going to match completely with you, by the way, if you're playing along or going in for yourself. But yeah, you can fully rotate the camera in this game, and you're going to want to do that very regularly. I still hold the circle button to run myself, but that's just because I'm used to doing the claw grip on my controller from other games at this point. Looks like this place has been abandoned for a while, so no one can see me raid the trash can and randomly get a large med kit. That's not guaranteed to be there, by the way. When shooting, your bullets will do more damage if you're closer to the enemy, so attempting to shoot enemies from far away will use up your ammo supplies more quickly. Good to know. Notably, any items you find in trash cans are technically random. You're more likely to find something in a trash can if you're lower on some sort of supply. Who put handgun bullets in the bathroom sink? What's that? It's a laser sight for a handgun. So now you can aim with a little better accuracy using your handgun. Not that there's much point to do that right now, because I'm trying to kind of go through this relatively non-violently, but hey, it's always nice. There's something in there, but I can't get at it. It's blocked by a pile of old bones. Why is that in there? I don't want to know. It's a magazine. Beyond Magazine, August 1989. Strange sighting at abandoned theme park? Aspiring paranormal photographer Arthur Mole sent in a Polaroid he took while exploring the abandoned amusement park Crow Country. Could this thing possibly be real, or is it just another hoax? Here at Beyond Magazine, we're not convinced. Try a little harder next time, Arthur. That is kind of blurry. That's a cool little shape going on there, though. Looks like someone's in this stall. Someone thinks blocking it. Alright. Vending machines and trash cans may provide you with supplies if you're running low. You can also get handgun ammo from the trunk of your car, but notably only if you have none. I believe if you have more than 8 bullets, or even just a bullet, Mara will not grab more until you're completely out. It's a backpack. UFO Tour 1988. It's empty. Did somebody lose it? Maybe. It's a door. It's locked from the other side. Can't get in there yet, then. This one has a bronze keyhole on it. Oh, I guess we'll keep that in mind if we ever find a key that can match that. Boxes also contain randomly placed items. That antidote can cure certain status ailments. It's a telephone. There's nobody I could call. It's a fortune-telling machine. You have 10 credits remaining. Would you like to hear your fortune? I'm not going to do this ever, but effectively the fortune-telling machines placed throughout the map are a hint system. If you don't know what to do next, or you're stuck on a puzzle, that can help you 10 times per save file, but your endgame rank does suffer from it. Humanoid enemies will take more damage if you get a headshot. A headshot also has a chance of decapitating some enemies. Next up, after I read this next note, let's talk about the crystal crows I've been shooting in every room so far, like that one right there. You can quickly defeat enemies by exploding the red barrels. Similarly useful are the blue electrical generators found on some walls. I've basically never shot the blue generators. So those crystal crows are part of the Crow Quest option we saw earlier. There's something wrong with the ventilator in the fairy pond area. We think something might have crawled into the pipe and died. Don't run the ventilator, and if you do, hold your breath. Seriously. Fine, I admit it. I dropped the bronze key into the fairy pond. It was an accident. It wouldn't be such a problem if we'd made a spare. So, the Crystal Crows are part of the Crow Quest. That only unlocks after you've beaten the game. Effectively, there are 42 Crystal Crows hidden throughout the game's main rooms. And if you shoot them all, you unlock something just to use in a certain other room in the game. We'll showcase that when the time comes, though. I'm effectively having that on despite it not being there on a fresh run, just so I can showcase everything in the game as best as I can on one playthrough. Make sure you read every memo adjacent thing you find throughout the game, by the way, because not only is the game's backstory told in some of them through newspapers and the like, but unlike Resident Evil, where the files are largely story and lore and the occasional puzzle solution, almost every single staff memo in the game hints towards something in progression, be it the location of an item, what room might be the place you're looking for next, or a puzzle solution just outright. Let's see what's in trash can number 6. Ooh, a random grenade. Why is that in there? What's this? 2106. I think it's written in blood. Is it a code for something? That's concerning. The grenades, though. While you're aiming any of your weapons out, you can press a specific button. I have a map to square, and you can throw one out. You'll throw it a good distance, and after a second it explodes, causing heavy damage to anything near it. There's a lot of them in the game to grab, but you really should use any of the ones you get because they're so good at clearing rooms when the time comes. If a swan breaks down, just take the egg out of its wheel system. Doing so disables the radio signal and locks the wheel until you can get a mechanic out to fix it. So we need an egg for this room. The Atlanta Globe, May 1986. Crow Country Theme Park, opening soon. Cancel your weekend plans with the in-laws and grab your sunglasses. A brand new theme park is opening just a few miles southeast of Atlanta. Explore Fairy Tale Town, Haunted Hilltop, and Ocean Kingdom at Crow Country, which promises a day full of fun and adventure for the whole family. The park is owned by one Mr. Edward Crow, a lifelong Atlanta local and landowner. Yes, that's right, it appeared he named the park after himself. Not much is known about Mr. Crow other than a vague, unsubstantiated reports that he is exceptionally wealthy. Nonetheless, we look forward to seeing what Crow Country has to offer when it opens its gates this summer. Well, given that this takes place in 1990 and it's shut down, that means things went clearly awry at some point or another. So the eggs are going missing. I think kids are stealing them. Luckily, it turns out you can use anything as long as it's about the right size and shape. It's weird, I assumed that the eggs were magnetic or something, but apparently not. The main reason I'm in here at the moment is A, to get that crystal crow that's right there, but also information. Crow Country is very good, like in the early Resident Evil games, wherein There's a lot of rooms you can access even if you don't have the item you need to do the actual thing in there yet. So if you can figure out what rooms you can access quickly, you can figure out what's where and what is pointing you in what direction pretty quickly. Helps at the setup of Crow Country itself as a theme park. This right here, by the way, is a glass bottle. Like with the boxes, they randomly contain items. However, unlike the boxes, you can see what they have inside of them, but you still need to use a bullet to open them up unless you get a C rank and get the crowbar item that allows you to just smack them open. Well, 2106 isn't going to work here. There's no 0. Oh, well. One carving of a woman. She's facing the other way. Ominous. Oh, hi there, dude. Sir? What happened here? Who? My name is Mara Forrest. I'm here to help. They attacked me. All I wanted was proof. What's your name? Arthur Mole. I just needed a better, clearer photo. A photo of what? Who attacked you, Arthur? Those things. I don't know. Those people. They saw me and... Alright, stay calm. You're bleeding quite badly. I should help him. What'd you say your name was? Mara. Come on, I think we should take a look at your leg. And here you're given the option of using a healing item on him. You can go through the game and just never use this, but for progression, I like to do it anyway. Thanks. I still feel kind of bad. Come on, let's move you somewhere safe. You don't look too heavy. I should move Arthur somewhere else. I moved Arthur to my car. He'll be safe there, for now. So at a few key points throughout the game, they'll throw a little divergence at you where you can use an item to help someone else out like that. And you basically never need to do it, but you feel a little better inside doing it, and it does minorly impact the ending to the point where you might as well. There's enough healing items randomly in the map where you don't need to worry about wasting any. How are you doing? I'm okay. You can be honest. Your leg hurts pretty bad, right? Yeah, it's throbbing. It feels weird. And you have a headache and feel kind of queasy? How did you know? The thing that hurt you, it hurt me too. Not the exact same one, but still. Do I need to go to a hospital? Mara? Just sit tight, alright? You'll be safe in the car. Are you done? Can we leave? No, sorry. Why? What are you doing? I have to find Edward Crow, the owner. Laura, the park shut down ages ago. He won't be here. He's here. I have to talk to him. Why? There's something I have to tell him. Laura, I want to leave. I can't. Sorry. Notably, you can tell when an NPC you're talking to has more dialogue. If they still have a speech bubble over them, the moment that fades away, you are in the clear. Also, just to get it out of the way really quick, I love this game's visuals. I think this is one of the best approaches to making a game look like it's somewhere in the PS1 and 64 era, while also having a good filter on top of it at the same time that I actually have the filter on. Not that you can turn off the filter in this game, but that graininess you're seeing on screen, that's not like a rendering issue. That's how the game looks, and it improves the atmosphere of the game so much. Honestly, without it, it still would do pretty well, but it just adds that little extra oomph. Tree Lady, 3184. I guess Arthur wrote this. Well, that's probably the 4 digits we need for that keypad over there. So after I take care of this Crystal Crow, let's go see what happens if we put that in. 3184. Yo, hello. I think I remember you have to talk to her. There was some kind of phrase you had to say. I don't remember what it was, though. Well, we're gonna have to find that out elsewhere, I suppose, then. I didn't get this on my first playthrough, but there's actually 2 tips and tricks here that are reposts of the ones that are in the main hall. I didn't quite get why they did that when I first played the game, but thinking more on it, it's probably to have them more clearly marked in the case you missed the first 2. In fact, they even kind of talk about reading more things right here. Read the staff memos posted on walls around Crow Country. In every save room, there's a book containing all the staff memos you've read so far. Similarly, there's also one of those for every single tips and tricks, so as you collect documents, there's a good place to always check what you've read, in the case you need to double check the information you have and things like that. Let's see what this memo says. If you're looking for the machine chain, one of the swan boat people took it to fix a broken swan. I told them not to take it, and they took it anyway. Can't reason with swan boat people. Here at Crow Country, we can't wait to share our optimistic vision of the future with you. Douglas Pike, Park Operations. Cosmic Future, coming summer 1990. It was supposed to be finished this year. Now it'll never happen. More importantly, over here is our first map of the game. They give you several throughout that just show more and more areas. So for right now, we have all of Fairy Tale Town marked, as well as the utility corridor in the northwest. We can also see where Crow's office is. I wonder what kind of wondrous things await us in the future. Edward Crow, park owner. Handwritten letter. Hey Ed, want some good news? Finally found a good site for our gold mine. It's in Para, northern Brazil. Just like we wanted, there's a disused mine here. The locals gave up on it years ago. It's still in decent shape, so it shouldn't be too much work to get it looking the part. Marv. Crow has a gold mine? Huh. Interesting. Crystal Crow right there. Vending machines, like the trash cans, will just randomly give you things if you're low on supplies. It's usually ammo, but I think it can also be med packs. Just unlike the trash cans, if you don't get anything from it, you literally get nothing instead of like a joke banana peel or empty soda can and things of that nature. Alright, let's see what's in the utility corridor. It's the only real direction we have to go now. Well, the atmosphere in here is definitely a little louder. What was that? Meet our first few enemies. These guys just kind of shamble towards you. If you get too close, they smack you. Mara's health is decent on top of how many healing items there are to find in the game, but if you're going for high ranks, namely S or S+, you need to beat the game with 10 or less or 3 or less heals, so be careful if you're trying to get those done. Note taped to the lid of this particular shipping crate. Ship to Marvin Trumbull, 18006, Acara River, Para, Brazil, South America, 66010-020. Contents, samples of geological interest. It's full of rocks. Each one's embedded with a piece of shiny metal. Is this crate full of gold ore? Weird. If the gold mine's down there, why are they shipping it to it? The fire marshal was here this morning. She said the following rooms are due for inspection. The Crow's Lounge in the northwest, the Model Railway in the central, the utility corridor in the southeast, the submarine to the west, Crow's office in the northeast, Wednesday underground, Crow's lab underground. She also said we need to replace the Ocean Kingdom storeroom door. That is shouting out 2 particular pieces of information, where your save points are, as well as one optional room you can access later on. So welcome to the staff lounge. Remember to get into the fairy pond area, say this out loud to the fairy. Hear me, O great fairy of fairest forest. It's pretty sensitive. It won't work if you have an accent. Sorry, Diego. The fairy? The one that's treating the Fairy Tale Town? Couldn't hurt to try. This here magazine is what compiles all the tips and tricks you find throughout the game up to this point. I believe that specific spot over there can be another place where you can find the Fairy Tale Town map. But that door up on the top right of the room that has a 32 on it, that's the Crystal Crow door. Upon destroying all 42 Crystal Crows in the game, that will open up and we can get the reward for destroying them. State Court, 185 Central Avenue, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. United States. Legal summons. Dear Mr. Crow, I'm writing to you in relation to the incident which occurred within your theme park in July of 1988. As you know, a 15-year-old girl by the name of Elaine Marshall was injured. The incident occurred within your premises and within working hours. As such, the Marshall family is holding you personally responsible. Your presence is required in court. We expect to hear from you immediately. Sincerely, G. Williams, State Court. Legal trouble due to an injury, huh? That might explain why the place shut down then, but I guess we'll have to find out more as we read more notes. This green book right here is what stores the staff memos you find throughout the game. Tolman's Records, March 21st, 1988. Monday morning, driving to work. Boss calls into my car radio. He doesn't normally do that. Something has obviously gone wrong. Intruder alarm going off in the second unit. Boss thinks someone's down there. Get to work, check the security cameras. Someone is down there. He's standing right by the pool. All security doors down to the pool are locked. Check security records, doors untouched since 6 p.m. on Friday. Alarm has only just been triggered. I turn on the intercom, try to communicate, no response. But I can hear the sound he's making. Something's wrong. His clothes don't fit him. Something is very wrong. Ominous. This tips and trick over here is one of my favorites in the game if you're using a D-pad, as we just straight up have a feature from Resident Evil 3 onwards. If you're using the D-pad move, you can do a 180-degree quick turn. Press down in the circle at the same time, so you can just turn around 180 degrees. If you're using the analog stick, though, it's not the most useful. This cabinet with a keypad, I have all the solutions for, because every keypad in this game has a set solution, but I'm going to wait until I find the hint for that to actually open it up. It's a fireplace. The fire is crackling softly. Staring to the flames, I feel something. It's a curious mixture of hope and dread. Maybe think everything will be okay, and maybe it won't. Anytime you see a fire in this game and this music starts playing, that is a save point you can use. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 2, we're going to further explore Fairy Tale Land to see if we can get any kind of progress going towards where we can find Edward Crow. See you guys then.